David is high-functioning autistic with explosive behaviour. Hannah's more of a young carer than she has ever been. Being self-isolated, the three of us, is really, really hard. What happens if my pain gets worse? Something was to happen to me. What happens to my two kids? My name's Vivienne, I'm 43, I live in Dunoon in Scotland. I've been self-isolating with my two children. Hannah is 11 and David is high-functioning autistic with explosive behaviour. I have spinal nerve damage and left-sided weakness. I have chronic fatigue syndrome and generalised chronic pain. Hannah is a young carer. There is days where my chronic fatigue or my spinal damage pain limits what I can do, whether it be putting on my shoes or sometimes getting up out of bed. Hannah is very mature for her age and she can make cups of tea, she can cook for us, she can bake for us, she can speak to David and she can calm him down if he's highly frustrated and getting aggressive. Being self-isolated, the three of us, is really, really hard. Everybody is feeling very anxious. David is struggling, basically follows all the news to see what's happening and will just constantly come into your room or interrupt a conversation to tell you how many people are dead and where they're dead. So, David, how are you finding it being off school?
Stressful, because I don't get to see my friends and all the work getting sent online and how long it'll take. And no routine. I'd just rather be at school.
We get up in the morning, I try to keep the kids in their routine.
This is what we do with our hours activity each day.
David and Hannah now get their school lunches delivered to the house. So David wakes up every morning and then literally waits for his school lunch. He's happy to get that because it means he gets to wave at somebody from the grammar school in the bus. And that 30-second interaction for him is amazing.
Right here. Thank you. You too. Fish and chips and peas.
And you like their fish and chips?
David had the idea a few weeks ago that could he put up his Christmas light so that it would cheer people up as they walked past. So David displayed all his lights. People stop. If they see him, they give him a thumbs up. Ambulances slow down, beep the horn, give him a thumbs up. From David getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning till lunchtime, he just didn't stop. He wanted to play in the garden. He wanted to play with his Nerf guns. He wanted to paint things. He wanted to bake. He wanted to go out with the dogs. He wanted to, can I go and get my friend? And then I'm like, no, David, remember, we're in isolation, we're in lockdown. Fatigue is like something I've never encountered before. It's like somebody just switches off the power switch. Doesn't matter how much sleep I have. Some days I could sleep all day and night and wake up the exact same way. So by lunchtime, I am exhausted. And I've had to say to Hannah, David's playing his Xbox, he's fine, but I need to go and lie down. And then an hour or so later, I've got an 11-year-old making me a cup of tea and a sandwich and bringing it up to me. David can and has been very physical with me and has attacked me on dozens of occasions. When he gets so anxious and so wound up, he becomes a different person. It's a Jekyll and Hyde. He doesn't know how to control it. He doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing, what he's supposed to be feeling. Any normal day is bad enough. Hannah used to go for counselling sessions with CAMS, the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Service. She was told if she felt unsafe or David was hurting me, to call the police. It's not a thing an 11-year-old wants to hear, and it's not a thing an 11-year-old wants to do. In this situation that we're in now, Hannah's more of a young carer than she has ever been. And I don't know how I will ever repay, how she'll ever appreciate how much I appreciate her and everything she's done. I probably worry more now than I did before. Before I used to worry, okay, what happens if my pain gets worse? And what happens if I have a really bad episode of fatigue? Which I did over Christmas, and literally Christmas and January, if I could lift my head off the pillow enough to get Hannah to school and David to school, that was a good day for me. Something was to happen to me, what happens to my two kids? All I can say to anybody in a situation similar to mine, or any part of similar to mine, or nothing like mine, is keep in touch with people and don't stress about the homework, because that's not the be all and end all. Enjoying time together, but finding your space and finding time alone is the most important part of our country getting through this. And all I can do is hope that on the other side this actually makes maybe our country and our communities a better place.